Good afternoon. I am going to show you today how to find contenders in your race in 5 minutes. I'm looking at the 125 at Lingfield. As you can see, it's only 120. I've got the betting site open so we can watch it, and Betfair so we can see the odds. Now, I've also got Excel open. I'm going to close this. This is a race that I've just been rating. Start a new one. I'm going to do this very quickly to show you how it can be done. You can use any spreadsheet, it doesn't have to be Excel. The choice is yours. So the first thing we want to do is to left click and select all of the horses information. Right click on that and copy and paste into your spreadsheet. Now we're interested in it's put the columns slightly out of sync. This is the official rating, as you can see, 66. If I scroll back up here, 66 is the official rating for headache. And we're interested in the official rating, the top speed, and the RPR. All the columns are out of sync very slightly. We copy those, put them into a new sheet, and as you can see, we have 2 cells here for each one, so we want to undo that, so we just click on alignment and unmerge those cells. I'm going to get rid of these headings because they're very misleading. And it's converted the weight of each horse into the date, but we're not interested in that anyway, so I'm just going to go down and delete all of those. As you can see, we're out of sync slightly here. These official ratings are 1 lower, so I select the bottom, hold down shift and select the top, and then just, missed it, select them all and just drag them up by 1. There we go. And then we also have a blank row in between each, which I don't like, so I'm just going to select all of the blank rows, and I'm doing this just by holding down Control, selecting the row, and press the delete button. And I'll move them up. No, I don't need to move them up 1. And I'm going to put headings in so we know what they are. I am actually going to move them up 1 because we haven't got horse names, you may have noticed, and that's because we can relate it to the horse number. Now our number 2 is the racing post number 1 because we have headers in our first row. So number 1, 2, 3 is equivalent to our 2, 3, 4. And these little lines where a horse doesn't have a rating, I'm just going to delete. Now very simply, we add up all of the ratings for each all the ratings for each horse separately. So for the official rating, we do equals the sum, open bracket, select all of the ratings and press enter. And I'm going to drag that. This little box here allows us to not type this in each time, just drag it across. And it performs that for column B and column C. Now this is slightly unfair because, as you can see, we've got 2 horses here that aren't rated. So we are going to rate those. We're going to do equal, and we're going to take the average of all of the horses in this column, and that's 69.75. I'm just going to remove the decimal place, and I'm going to fill out the unrated horses with the average of 70. There we go. And I can delete this down here. And that just evens it out. Now we want to divide these total of all the ratings by the number of runners. So we equal that, and we divide it by, in this race, we have 14 runners. And again, I'm going to remove all the decimal places, and I'm going to use our little black box in the corner and just drag it across so I don't have to worry about redoing it. Finally, for each race, we're going to take the horse's rating and subtract from it this number. So for the OI, it will be this number, for the TS, this number, and the RPR, this number. Again, this is very simple. We do equals this rating and minus that. Now, we have to go in here, and we have the column A, and 18 is what we're subtracting from. We want to put a dollar sign there. What this means is that we can click on our little black box and drag it down, and it will always use cell 18, row 18. And again, we don't need to type this individually, we can just drag it across and it will copy it across for our other columns, and then drag those down like that. To create our final rating, we very simply add up all of the horses' ratings that we've come up with the three new ones, and again we just drag that down, and that gives us our contenders. Now, as you can see, our contenders are, those are our two strongest contenders, number 4 and number 8. If we go back, it's just gone 125 by 27 seconds. The race hasn't gone in play. As you can see, that took us about 4.5 minutes. We would now place our bet on number 3 and number 7, which is Stanley Goodspeed and Ever Cheerful. Stanley Goodspeed is 6 and Ever Cheerful's 32. Now, I wouldn't place a bet on Ever Cheerful because my maximum odds for any horse is 29. So Stanley Goodspeed is our bet. In a situation like that, you may want to consider contenders, which would be the next best, which is number 4 and number 9. And number 4 and number 9, yeah, that's right. Number 4 and number 9 are, oh, in fact, it shows you it on Betfair. Number 4 is Goodbye Cash, and number 9 is Bollywood Style. You don't even need to look at the racing post. You may want to place bet on those, but those are our other possible contenders. It's a 7 furlong race. It shouldn't take long to run. Our strong contender was Stanley Goodspeed and Ever Cheerful. We removed Ever Cheerful because of his high odds, but we can already see that he's dropped massively. As I say, my maximum odds is normally 29. And any horse that's over 29, I won't bet on. But that's all down to personal preference, of course. Our runner-ups were number 9 and number 4. Neither of those have performed very well, but that doesn't matter because our top-rated horse has gone on to win. And just out of interest, it's always good to go to the betting site and find our race. This was Lingfield 125. We could have watched it on here and watched the commentary. I mean, it's always a good idea just to pop over to here and to make sure that the result comes through nicely. And here's our result. Stanley Goodspeed, War and Peace, and Goodbye Cash. So our top rated horse came first, and one of our 2 runners up came third. And that's how you can very quickly find winning bets and contenders using that ratings method.